over time, the sun varies, and it varies on a time scale of about 11 years. So over that time, the magnetic field of the sun sort of grows and becomes more complex and then shrinks back down again. And observationally, that's manifested by the number of what we call sunspots, these dark spots on the surface of the sun. So the number of spots rises and falls over an 11-year time period. And that's the sort of basis of the heartbeat of the sun, the cycle of the sun. And we've known about this solar cycle for hundreds of years, actually, ever since we had the first telescopes looking at the sun. You could see the black spots on the surface. But here we are 400 years later, and we still don't fully understand why this cycle takes place. But it is so fundamental to understanding how a star operates. The cycle does affect us here on Earth, absolutely. So at the moment, we're at a time where one cycle is ending and another one is just starting to begin. So it's quite a quiet time. The current cycle hasn't ramped up in its size. When it does, then the sun really switches on. It becomes much more active. You get explosions and eruptions in the atmosphere of our star. And they are what ultimately sends out emissions to the Earth. X-rays, ultraviolet light, and big bursts, literally bubbles of material coming our way, bubbles of magnetic field. So at the height of the solar cycle, the sun is really active, and we feel the impact on the Earth through these emissions that we sort of group together now to call space weather. So when the sun's very active, we have stormy space weather, and that can be bad for us in terms of how it impacts our technology through our electricity distribution, satellite operation.